disclaimer. All of this advice is very subjective, and each person will have different opinions. Each person will have different levels of stress they can manage. Hello, I am Shan Kesser, graduate of Rawalpindi Medical University, class of 2022, and I did my house job rotations in all the 3 allied hospitals that are affiliated with Rawalpindi Medical University. I did my surgery and medicine rotations from BBH. I did my anesthesia from DHQ, emergency medicine from Holy Family.
Because you have experience of all 3 allied hospitals of RMU, give us an insight of what the hospitals are like, the amenities, the conveniences, the inconveniences, and so how should that shape our decision around choosing a rotation?
Okay. Now, I'd like to divide this portion into 2 things.
Okay.
One is the hospital and the working environment and the work living circumstances.
Okay.
From a hospital point of view, I'd say DHQ is the easiest to demarcate from the other 2 because it is very understaffed pretty much everywhere. So wherever you go in DHQ, your schedule is going to be very hectic. You are doing alternate calls, even in the allieds, which are supposed to be chill. In BBH and HFH, there's like MU1, MU2, but in DHQ, there is only 1 department. So if you're in medicine, then if you're doing nights, then you will be doing nights every day. Whereas in BBH or Holy Family, if you're doing nights, so in your 30 days, you're doing 15 night calls, whereas in DHQ in your 30 days, you're doing 30 night calls. So coming to BBH and HFH, the environments are very comparable over here. And in DHQ, the environment is pretty friendly. The PGs are nice. The house officers are very empowered. A house officer has like a very high amount of respect. Everyone respects your opinion. You can manage according to how you want it to be managed. Your PGs, sometimes they will not be available because there are only a few PGs. The ones who are on call are also looking at the ward, also looking at the ER, also looking at the OT. So there will be times where your PGs are all washed and there will be serious critical patients coming to you and you will be the only one there. So it can be very, very stressful and tense, but at the same time, once you're done with it, the satisfaction that you get, I feel like, is amazing because you learn a lot of things, how to manage them independently, and you gain a lot of confidence from that. Nursing staff is something that is usually highlighted pretty highly, that in BBH nursing staff is very cooperative from my experience and very competent as well. When you have nursing staff on your side, so most of the IV sampling and IV cannulations, that is all stuff, and the medications, that's something that the nursing staff will be taking care of, even in the ER and even in the wards. Whereas in Holy Family, I feel like that can be different. Can you enlighten a little bit?
It is different. Because nursing staff is usually busy and distracted with the logistics and dealing with the admissions and all the paperwork. So they tend to shift their work onto house officers, like blood sampling.
I feel like BBH surgery is a little bit more hectic than Holy Family surgery, just because of the location, I think, plays a big role. BBH is bang on Murray Road, so that means RTA Central and very accessible location. So I feel like a lot of trauma cases definitely go to BBH compared to Holy Family.
Yeah. Over in Holy Family, we have 2 units. So surgical unit 1 is very policy stricken, and so you are always under the supervision of a lot of seniors, which means that you tend to learn things in the right way, in a systematic way. You learn the protocols, but applying is that kind of free hand you do not have. So you can't take decisions on your own. So SU2, which you get a bit more free hand exposure, again, it is a bit more chill as compared to SU1. your rotations kind of depend on who your PGs are and what they're like. So accordingly, each person has had their own experience, good and bad.
Okay. In BBH, we also have 2 units, SU1 and SU2. SU1 is a little bit more relaxed in terms of in the ward. Theirs is usually just, 1 round, and the PGs don't keep you on your toes just as much, so you can relax a little bit. And SU2 is the one that's very, prim and proper, policy stricken, and they follow their protocols really well. And the PGs always keep the house officers on their toes. And that's why working in SU2 can get a bit stressful and hectic, but the learning in SU2 is very, very good for sure. Surgical ER, if it's SU1, SU2, the environment and the working is pretty good. DHQ surgery,
it's a world of its own, I'll tell you that. The variety of cases are insane. I don't think any of the other 2 hospitals get to see. You have hella free hand. You're the one who's receiving the patient. You're the one who's giving first line management. So it kind of comes down to you that you need to know your guidelines and protocols really well.
You're in that situation when you're in the ER and you have critical patients and your PG's not answering the phone or their PG's not present, then that's not a place you want to be in. Each person has to assess themselves individually, know how much stress you can take on yourself, and based on that, you can make your decision.
That's true. Let's jump on to part 2 of hospital comparisons. So, living conditions, facilities, shoot it away.
Okay. If you are a day scholar, then the living conditions and the facilities do take up a limited amount of importance, because at the end of the day, you're going to come, you're going to stay, and then you'll leave. So if that's your scenario, then I'd say all 3 hospitals are pretty good. DHQ obviously is a little bit, the traffic going to Radha Bazaar all the way in every single day can be very, very exhausting.
You don't want to do that to yourself.
I would say overall, Holy Family has a more friendly environment in terms of HO rooms, call rooms for the on-duty doctors. The ones in Holy Family tend to be better than BBH, but then again, it depends a lot on the department individually. In BBH, there's a few departments that don't have any on-call HO rooms, so okay, where am I supposed to sleep? Like that stretcher in the back? Okay. DHQ in terms of facilities, I feel like is the best, right? It's the top. It's been completely renovated from front to back, and everything is like sparkling and clean always in DHQ. That's Wi-Fi everywhere. We have Wi-Fi in the ER, OTs, wards, library, and hostels. So
that saves you so much money. You don't have to buy data if you're a hostelite.
So one of the things that really has bugged me throughout Housejob has been signals. Like when you go back to your hostel room and you lie down in bed after a hectic call and you turn on your phone and signals nahi aa rahe, and like Twitter nahi load ho raha, Instagram nahi refresh ho raha, then it's so annoying. So BBH ka hostel, absolutely 0 signals. I have Uphone, Jazz, Telenor, Zong. I've bought them all just कि कोई ना कोई तो BBH में चल जाएगा. I watch a lot of football matches and I cannot watch them in BBH hostel. Every time I have to go out somewhere just where I can catch signals to watch matches. So if you're a host, like, I feel like that's a point that I wish someone had told me before.
So would you have changed your rotation?
Yes, absolutely. Holy Family is, I think, the best in terms of signals. DHQ also had signal issues, but my friends told me that Telenor works amazing, so I went and bought a Telenor SIM, and it worked great. The hostel situation of all the 3 hospitals is very poor. It's the maintenance of the hostels, the maintenance of the toilets, the signals, as I've already mentioned. All of these things are really poor, and you have a lot of people in one room. If you can afford, then I would say that you should consider living privately if standard is very low. But now that we're in that low standard, if we go into the microcosm and compare the three hospital hostels, I would say that DHQ and Holy Family hostels are considerably better than BBH hostel. BBH hostel has a lot of toilet issues, a lot of drainage issues, and water supply issues, signal issues. Allotment in BBH is very orderly. It's like how it was in student life, that there's a merit list, you choose your room according to merit, and you get your rooms. Holy Family does not have a concept of allotment. You literally have to go around and beg the people in charge, the YDA wale, please give us a room. And it'll easily take like a month just for you to get allotted a room, which is very annoying if you have to like come from DHQ to Holy Family every day, and you're working here but you don't have a place to stay here, and you want to move here, and there's people who want to move into your old room, but you're like, wait, let me just get a room, let me get allotted. Constantly having to change your hostel rooms is something that is quite hassle-some.
Sean, you have put down very solid points. You backed them up with facts, and I really appreciate that. You gave a really good insight into what things are like, and I bet our juniors are gonna get a lot of help from this video. And I think if this information was available for me, I would have chosen something else, things which were more convenient for me. कर तो लिया लेकिन पता भी चला है कि कैसी गुजरी है, बहुत गुजर गई है.